Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend, except in the summer, as it seems. So as many of you know, I have not been on ships for a few weeks now, and I've not really posted a lot of content. So I wanted to make a quick video and just check in with all of you. Number one, to say I miss you. Like, I really do miss engaging with all of you, so I hope to be back in the comment sections very, very soon. But wanted to just share some of my experience, what I've been up to, and yeah, take it from there. So with that, I went to North Carolina. So I have what I call blackout weekends. So when I am looking at my schedule for next year, which is almost fully booked for 2023 at this point, there's certain weekends on there that I black out for myself, so I don't schedule a cruise on top of it. So some of you probably can relate to that. If you don't block it out, chances of you booking a cruise are pretty good. And even when I block it out, sometimes I wind up going back and erasing it. But the July 4th American Independence Day holiday is one that I always spend with my family in eastern North Carolina. So they have beautiful places at the beach there. The fireworks displays are fantastic, and it is a wonderful time catching up with them. Love seeing all of my nieces and nephews, my brother and his family, and of course, mom and dad. So it's always a really good time to get out there and celebrate with them. From there, I left directly from North Carolina and I came up to New York City. So I have been living the city life for the past 3 weeks now. So I am coming up on the end of my stint. So you'll see that I'm sitting here in my New York hotel room, which has been fantastic, by the way. I've had a really good experience here. But I miss my ships. I miss the people on the ships. I miss meeting the new people on the ships. I miss seeing all of you on the ships. And so, I mean, when I travel, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I am always comparing everything to cruise ships and what's going on cruise ships. So I will say that, number one, I miss the cruise ships because one of my very good friends, Denise, probably one of my biggest cheerleaders, had a birthday this past cruise, and I wasn't able to be there on her birthday weekend cruise. That's something that's very important to me, and I hate that I had to miss that because I was here. Another good thing about it, and this is neat, so we've got my royal family that Denise is part of. I've also got two other friends that are part of that happen to just be coming to New York City as well this weekend. And of course, they reached out and we were able to have dinner together. We didn't talk about cruise ships as much as I thought we were. We normally do. We talked about a few of them, but the content wasn't all cruise ship related this time. But it's really great, and it just goes to show that some of those relationships that you make on cruise ships absolutely extends into real life, if you will. And I have made such a great relationship with them. It was awesome getting to see them. And it kind of warmed my heart a little bit that they reached out to me while they were in New York and gave me a little sense of home while I'm here, since I'm off the ships for 3.5 weeks. Actually, I'm off the ships for probably about a month, actually, by the time I factor it all together. I'm in New York City for 3.5 weeks, but if I include the time that I was in North Carolina, it's really about 4.5 weeks. So here in New York, I've had some really neat experiences where, again, I'm always comparing things to the cruise lines. So one of the first things is they've got a lot of water in New York. So I'm fortunate to be working in the downtown, or FIDI, I think is what they say here, the financial district. Got to be cool and say FIDI. I get to work down there, and I get to walk over to the shoreline or the coast. I don't know, the waterway, wherever the water is. I get to see the ferries, I get to see the water, and there's always something rejuvenating, energizing, and just comforting and peaceful about being beside of the water. And they've got, a jogging track and lots of benches you can sit on there. I have not been jogging, but I've certainly made good use of the benches over there to just sit in, take in the views overlooking New Jersey, seeing the ferries come and go. It still gives me a little bit of those creature comforts of things that I'm used to, and I just love being beside of the water. Another thing that I get to do while I'm in New York City is see a ton of Broadway shows. So one of my favorite things to do is go to shows here in Broadway. And in this 3.5 weeks that I'm going to be here, I'm going to see 8 different shows. I never saw 2 at one time, but I will be, or 2 in one day, but I am seeing a good amount while I'm here. And I had the privilege of going to see Moulin Rouge in New York. And the reason I mentioned Moulin Rouge is because it is a fantastic show, number one. But number two, it is what a Royal Caribbean production should look like if it was times by 100. So they took mashup of songs. So you all know the strategy for the singers and dancers is that we have, they take, songs that you know of, that you grew up with, that maybe even be current, and then they, loosely weave in a storyline to talk about that show and to bring that show to life. Moulin Rouge takes the story of Moulin Rouge and puts it to modern day and some older school songs, and they uniquely change up the way that that particular song is sung or the instruments go off, but you still recognize it, and it is a really, really well done show. But I kept thinking while I was there how great it would be if this was the level of production that the singers in there. Look, I know it's Broadway. They have huge pockets there to do with great talent. And so I get the Royal will probably never be Broadway style, but they're, not too far off from it. I think, just with some refinement, they might be able to get there. The other thing I have to remind myself on is not to eat too much in New York City. So I am traveling on an expense account. There is a certain amount that we do get per day while I'm here in New York. And, it's tough not to just order anything and everything. My sweet tooth is kicking in to a T right now. And so I've been using Uber Eats and a few other things because I've just been hanging out at the hotel a lot, because when I'm done with work, I just want to relax and have everything delivered to me. But I have to remind myself that, hey, like, this is not normal. Very similar to when I'm on the cruise ships every single weekend. That's not normal, and I can't act like that's the way that it should be. I am here in New York for 3.5 weeks, and I got to remind myself that that's not normal and keep myself in control. Luckily, there are a ton of great salad places here. Not that I'm a huge fan of salad, but if I wanted to, there's plenty of great places I can go to get my salad fix. There's also a gym here at the hotel, which is very similar to a cruise ship gym. So a cruise ship gym, if you guys go, I personally am a huge fan, does not have any barbells. So it doesn't have any free weights, bench press machines, anything like that, because if the ship starts rocking, you're not gonna have those. This is a very large hotel that I'm staying at, and luckily they have a sizable gym. It does come with dumbbells up to 75 pounds and a Smith machine and plenty of free weights, including, you've got your Peloton bikes in there, which I'm also a huge fan of. Well, that's all that I've got from New York, but make sure that you're staying tuned to my next videos. I'm gonna be coming back to cruising next weekend, and I might be trying a new cruise line out. So stay tuned to see where Brandon is going to be sailing next. You all know that I am loyal to Royal, so I have very mixed conflicts over this internally, but I think that it's going to be a great time, and I'm excited to share going on a new cruise line with all of you to showcase what my experience is going to be like. All right, everyone, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.